Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really critical and honestly kind of dangerous misunderstanding about artificial intelligence. It's all based on a great piece from Boyd's blog, and it really gets to the heart of why so many leaders just might not be seeing the real risks here. All right, let's jump right in with this quote. Does this way of thinking sound familiar? Maybe you've even thought it yourself. And you know what? It's a perfectly logical, totally reasonable question to ask, based on everything we've learned about normal software for the last, 40 years. But here's the kicker. When it comes to modern AI, that thinking is just completely wrong. So here's the core of the problem. For decades, we've all built up this really solid mental model for how software works. And that's great. But trying to apply that same thinking to today's powerful AI models, it's not just a little off, it's dangerously misleading. And this creates this massive chasm in understanding. You've got AI safety experts feeling like their warnings are just vanishing into thin air, while the public and a lot of business leaders feel like the experts' arguments have these really obvious holes in them. But really, they're just working from two totally different playbooks, all because of this one unspoken assumption. Okay, so what is this fundamental difference we're talking about? Look, this isn't like a minor software update. We are talking about a complete architectural shift. To really get it, you have to compare the kind of software that runs, say, your spreadsheet, to the kind of AI that can write you a poem from scratch. This table, right here, just lays it all out. Just look at these differences. Where do bugs come from? How do we fix them? How permanent are those fixes? On literally every one of these basic points, traditional software and modern AI are polar opposites. We are not playing the same game anymore, not by a long shot. And because of this fundamental difference, a whole set of common sense beliefs have popped up. Beliefs that are 100% true for the software we've used our whole lives, but become dangerously false when you apply them to AI. So let's go through them, one by one. For any normal app on your phone, right, this is gospel. A programmer makes a typo, forgets a semicolon, writes some iffy logic, and you can trace that bug right back to a specific line of code. It's clean. It's simple. But with AI, the problem isn't the code that runs the model. Oh no, it's the vast, messy, unpredictable ocean of data it was trained on. And to really understand the sheer scale of that problem, you gotta see this next number. Just let that sink in for a second. 85,000 years. That's how long it would take a single person reading nonstop just to get through the text used to train one popular AI model. So when people ask if the creators know everything that went into it, the answer is a hard no, not even close. Okay, belief number 2. With regular software, this totally holds up. A team of engineers can get in a room, read through the code, and use pure logic to figure out the root cause of a problem. It's like a detective story, and there's always a clear culprit at the end. With AI, that detective story is impossible to solve. When an AI makes a weird mistake or says something bizarre, even its own creators don't fully get the step-by-step process that led to it. They can't point to the one piece of bad data. The only tool they really have is to just throw more data at it and hope it counteracts the bad behavior. It's basically guesswork. In the software world, this is a core principle. You find a bug, you write a patch, you create an automated test, and boom. You can be confident that that specific bug is never, ever coming back. It's gone for good. AI just doesn't work that way. A fix doesn't actually mean the problem is solved. It just means the weird behavior didn't pop up for the specific tests they decided to run. The underlying issue could absolutely still be lurking in there, just waiting for someone to phrase a prompt in a slightly different way. With traditional software, this is project management 101, right? You define exactly what you want the program to do, down to the last detail, and a team of engineers can build it to meet those exact requirements. You are in control. But with AI, the creators are often just as surprised as the rest of us. They don't actually know what it will be capable of until after it's already been trained. Think of it like this. They have a big lever that just says, make it better, but they don't have all the small, precise levers for specific skills. And this, well, it leads to some pretty wild discoveries. It's often the public, just messing around, who discovers these abilities the creators never even knew the AI had. So far, they've been pretty fun, like being a world-class GeoGuessr player or an expert at mimicking famous art styles. But the logic here is inescapable. If harmless, positive skills can be hidden inside, what's to say dangerous ones can't be too?
So let's put all these pieces together. We have a system we can't fully inspect, whose mistakes we don't really understand, whose fixes aren't permanent, and whose full capabilities are a surprise even to its makers. So what in the world does this actually mean for our safety?
This is the bottom line, right here. While we can test for threats we already know about and we can try to patch the vulnerabilities we find, we can never, ever guarantee that an AI is safe from the unknown ones. There's just no way to prove it won't do something malicious in a way nobody has even thought to test for yet. And that forces us to ask a very, very serious question. If we keep getting surprised by the positive skills these systems develop out of nowhere, what kind of dangerous capabilities might we discover next? And what happens if we only find out when it's already too late? Just understanding this fundamental architectural difference between old software and new AI is the absolute first step. It's basically the price of admission if we want to have a productive, meaningful conversation about AI safety and risk. If there is only one thing you take away from this explainer, please let it be this. The simple, reliable, just patch the bug mindset that we've all come to expect from the world of software, it just does not apply here. The entire playbook for fixing problems is different. The author of our source material suggests that maybe the most powerful thing we can do right now is just make sure everyone is working from the same set of facts. We need to reset our collective understanding of what this technology actually is and what it isn't. And we'll end with that thought. The mental model you use to understand a technology really shapes your entire perception of its promise and its peril. Thanks for joining us for The Explainer.